So, but for clients, and I think that was done, if I remember correctly, like within the first 4 to 5 weeks or 4 to 6
It was very early on because I was so instrumental in following the protocol, and I went through to do some interviews and sort of just end up signing clients very quickly.
All right, welcome to this Fearless Coach Academy interview. I'm super excited to be interviewing Rachel Hinkle here, who has been working with me for quite a few months now. And Rachel, why don't we start by just introducing yourself, what your name is, what the name of your business is, and where you're located.
Okay. Um, First of all, I'm Rachel. I'm located in Central Illinois, and the name of my business is Versa Business Coaching Solutions, basically business coaching and management consulting.
Awesome, business coaching. So can you describe your business in a little bit of detail? Kind of describe who you coach, who you help, what the problems are that you solve for them or help them solve, and how it works.
Absolutely. In short, I work with small business owners and entrepreneurs, and the focus is helping them increase their productivity, their sales, and their volume with qualified leads, and in the light of also helping them contain their costs. Some budget containment and improved measures for decreasing spend to get to that level of productivity that they seek, and all the while increasing their engagement in what they do, as well as their employees if they have them, and then increasing that loyalty of their customer, not just retaining those customers, but organically being able to cross-sell and upsell that customer base, that book of business easier. Why I do this, what it's about, what it's for, really is my passion and drive is to make a difference in business owners' workflow, their lives, helping make things easier and more effective. Something I've been doing for a long time corporately, and based on your program, I'm taking out on my own.
I love that, Rachel. Well, that's such a valuable service. I believe that entrepreneurs, business owners, are the people that kind of really make the world go around, right? They create massive value in the world.
Yes.
And at the same time, running a business can be one of the most stressful experiences of your life if you don't know what to do and how to do it, from everything from growing revenue to managing expenses to increasing bottom line profits. I mean, I can't tell you how many coaches in the coaching space, and you see this a lot online. You see a lot of people marketing, make 6 figures overnight or build a 7-figure empire in record time. And that could be great on a revenue perspective, but the question is, are they really profitable? And
Absolutely.
it's so shocking to me how many coaches are out there that are just celebrating the top line revenue without being transparent or setting goals around what their actual profits are, which is really going to be the health of the business. So I just want to say that I acknowledge you, Rachel, because you have so much knowledge and experience. You are very gifted and skilled at what you do. And now you're going to take the years of corporate experience that you have and build your coaching and consulting business around it, which is really exciting. So,
and it's thanks to you, really.
Thank you, Rachel. So why did you decide to join? Because we, started coaching a few months ago. Why did you decide to join in the first place the 6-Figure Coach Launchpad program with me?
So I had been thinking about going out on my own for quite some time, and I'd been looking around, and just like many others, your Facebook presence was very engaging and very interesting. And I connected with you, and it was just that simple. It didn't really even take the blink of an eye. I just knew it. I felt it right away. Being in Illinois and your background coming from Chicago, I felt that resonated for me as well. And you had a story that made sense to me in my own personal life as well. And I just felt like I could get an ROI on this, and also was just very intrigued by what you were bringing and where you had come from. So I wanted to learn more.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I want to acknowledge you because, you had a choice in that first conversation that we had. And that choice was to, move forward with us and invest in yourself so that I can coach you, or it was to do it on your own. And a lot of coaches, a lot of people in general have that thought of how can I how can I invest time to save money? And you thought of it differently. You invested money to save time. And I think that's
Absolutely.
a really important thing that is what many successful people do is, you have the intelligence and the work ethic and the willpower and the discipline, all of that to get results. And you could have for sure figured this stuff out on your own, but it would have taken you a lot longer probably. Would you
It
agree?
not only it not only would have taken a lot longer, Peter, but I think it would have actually been a much more costly venture. And since my efficiencies are about saving costs and increasing that productivity, I wanted to go where I could get the infrastructure and the foundation of what I was looking to build in one package, if you will. And I got a whole lot more out of it. And as you have always stated about under promising and over delivering, that's an understatement. I'd make that your next big book title or caption because it's true and I'm adopting it. So hope you don't mind, but I'm certainly, I give you credit where credit is due.
And I've experienced that. I've chose that philosophy, Rachel, because I've had experiences in the past with people that did the opposite. So for you watching this interview right now, make sure whether you're a business coach like us, or you're a life coach or a health coach or relationship, always under promise and over deliver. What's more important than anything else is that your clients become raving fans, because they're going to be your success stories. They're going to be your case studies. And you're working with clients already, Rachel, that are becoming your success stories and your case studies that you can share and celebrate their wins, their breakthroughs, and that's going to help you grow your coaching and consulting business. So
Absolutely.
awesome. So what would you say was the biggest challenge that you were facing as a coach when you first decided to join the program? What was the biggest challenge for you?
Yeah, so like I said, I've come from the corporate environment, and the biggest challenge, the biggest frustrations that I've had is that instead of, and I think this is just corporate wide, there's too many guardrails, there's too many restrictions to or limitations to really being able to use your knowledge and skills and to be mentored, right? And to be mentored, that's a huge piece of this to really drive those results. There's so much that we can achieve, but there's so much waste because of bureaucracy. And I finally had to come to the realization that I just couldn't control all those things. But what I could control is my own sense of going out in the world and trying to make a difference for other people. So that took something that was negative and turned it into an opportunity.
Totally. So those constraints, I mean, really were stopping you, right? They were probably
Yeah.
impacting business.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, you weren't even dealing, and not only just your business, Rachel, but how is that impacting your overall life? Was there added stress? Was there frustration? What else happened as a result of those constraints of you not being able to give your gifts and help the people that you know you can help?
I'm pretty comfortable sharing this with everybody who watches this to say that the stress became so bad that I spent 4 days in the hospital. And that's when my turning point said, no more. I care too much. I'm too passionate. I'm too driven. And I had to finally come to accept that there are just some employers out there or some work environments that just may not embrace that drive or are dismissive of it for other causes or whatever. Whether it's personal or not personal is actually regardless of the situation. But it caused me 2.5 years of emotional turmoil that culminated in 4 days in a hospital, and everything has changed since.
Oh, I can so relate to this. And again, I'm not going to pretend to know that I understand, Rachel, what you've been through in that.
Sure.
Is that as an ex-investment banker, I will remember working 80, 90, sometimes 100 hours a week. And my colleagues, my peers, and myself, almost all of us as analysts at some point wound up in the hospital because of stress-related stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's crazy how that happens.
Yeah, and
So,
I didn't know. One of the things that lights me up more than anything about coaching is not only that you can be very successful financially doing it, but the impact, the fulfillment, the meaning that you get with it. You know, I was making great money as an investment banker, but I wasn't happy. I was doing it at the cost of my health. I was doing it at the cost of my relationships. At the end of the day,
Yes.
happiness is, I think, what we all want more of. We seek other things. We seek the cars or the material possessions or the things because we think that
Sure.
is happiness. You know what I mean? So thank you for
Right.
sharing that. If you're watching this and you're in that corporate rat race right now, I get that there's fear of leaving that security. And I appreciate that. And I want you to know the amount of freedom and the amount of happiness that's available to you when you channel your gifts, your knowledge, your experience, your expertise into building your own business. Because yes, it comes with its own
Yes.
stresses, but there's a whole lot of meaning associated with it too. So
Yes. Absolutely.
um, when we first started, and I'm not sure if you were talking with any other coaches at the time, but were there any fears that were coming up for you? Was there any fear about investing in yourself, about working with me or working with anyone else to grow your coaching business?
I wouldn't say the word fear would be accurate. Absolutely not. I was very assured. So after I had gotten so ill and said, things change today, what does that look and feel like? I made the commitment that I knew I had at least the basic skill set and that I also knew what my gaps were. And so I wasn't afraid. It was more of what order do I go in and how much time will it take? Um, and I spoke about this through your program quite a bit, which is that I personally, and maybe others watching this can relate to this, I don't have a lot of personal support in my life. It has to be self-driven. It's just not the direction that my life has taken that people say, go get them. You know, you're really bright and anything you set your mind to, you can achieve. I didn't come from that world. I came from the world of you get a job, you work 9 to 5, you put in your time and you get the dime. And I had to just know otherwise and believe in myself. And that's what I've done.
Yeah, and that's huge because I actually shot a video recently on my blog, and it was called "How to Avoid Giving Up on Your Business." And the first thing, I think I shared three keys or three strategies, and the first thing was surround yourself with people that believe in you. Because like you, Rachel, for me, when I started I had my closest people, right? My inner circle, family, even some of my closest friends, they didn't really support what I was doing. They kind of said, who do you think you are? And, you know, you have all this experience here, go back into the industry that you know, all of that stuff. And it was their own fears that were talking. And
Right.
the thing that made all the difference
Yes.
in the world,
Yes.
the thing that made a difference in the world, Rachel, was me hiring a coach, hiring a mentor, being a part of a mastermind of like-minded people that were on the same journey. Because there were
Yeah.
days when I doubted myself. There were days when I didn't believe in myself, and I got to feel the belief from the group.
Hmm.
Right. So, and I know you.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting too, because even though I'm really very new and I'm just kicking off, I'm starting to garner that support from my inner circle now that I'm able to answer their questions and that they can understand what it is that I'm doing and how I'm going about it. It's very new, but it's interesting to me. And anyone who does not have support or doesn't feel the support, take that energy and just kick its butt, because it really does work. And everyone in the network that I've interacted with is so supportive and go get them and you can do this. And it's needed. It's
Yeah,
needed and it's so important. And I didn't know that that would be part of my experience. And I'm so grateful for it.
I love it, Rachel. That's awesome. Um, well, what are three things that you learned? Like three specific things that you learned that you feel made the biggest impact on your business or on your life during the program?
Well, mindset for sure. My mindset is absolutely enormous. The power of that muscle is shocking to me. I did not realize um, until your program how important that focus is. So mindset is really key.
Yeah.
Believing in yourself, right, and being able to prove it out.
What do you mean by mindset? What does that mean to you?
being able to take anything that feels negative and make it positive, make it an opportunity. Mindset is looking through a bunch of jumbled information and finding one or two gold nuggets to focus on. Finding an ability to not be perfect, but to progress.
Yes.
Just anything that offers continued inspiration and continued opportunity to move forward in a positive way.
I love it. That, you
That
know,
that would be the mindset piece. I would also say, and I actually wrote this down, so I'm looking at my paper for a minute because I actually have this at my desk. It keeps me going, so I brought it in here because I didn't know you were going to ask that question, or I missed. I'm glad I brought this. Is what I'm saying. Obstacles. I used to feel obstacles would cause me frustration, and you'd feel it in my passion of, I know we can do this, and I'd get really worked up. That's a good way to say it. I'd get worked up. I know we can do this, but no one will listen, and blah blah blah. Now I look at obstacles in a very different way. I look at obstacles as that opportunity to prove out whether I have the directive or I'm given the directive. There's still a result to derive from that very thing. And so I look at an obstacle as just another path, and I didn't used to.
yeah,
And then, so I have that at my desk. The final one, you said 3, I have 5 on here, but I'll give you 3. Being transparent with imperfections and, and, and using them actually to build relationship and trust. So in rolling out my business, I felt I needed to have at least a pretty top line quality product to start with, a website infrastructure that had all the bells and whistles. I've rolled it out and it's not even all that functional yet, but at least it's there to start building my name and my brand. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because it's me. It's who I am. And if you trust to what I'm going to promise you and come on board, I'm going to help you make a difference, and you'll appreciate that because I'll appreciate that about you.
it doesn't take away from the value you're giving, right? Because you're still helping these business owners solve thear problems. You're still over the
Yes.
promises that you make. It may not be branded as perfectly as you want it. You know, I know my stuff isn't branded as perfect as I want it, but we could be attached to that need for perfection. And
Yeah.
weeks, months, even years could go by, and business owners could suffer because they don't have access to your coaching, and
That's
you're
right.
way trying to figure out exactly what the right logo should be or what the right color should be and all of this stuff. And it just blows my mind how many coaches do this. They think, well, I can't coach somebody until I get business cards, or I can't do this until I have a website. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like these are just excuses in disguise, right?
Right.
So that is a huge takeaway. Thank you for sharing that. And I know I did this for 3, but if you got 5, I want to hear the other 2 as well.
Oh, okay. The other 2 that I have on my list is, what does it mean to be self-assured? Thinking about that regularly. What does that mean to be you? Just to be okay with you, because there's going to always be people who criticize or negate or, try to go around or whatever that thing is. So just remembering to be your genuine self and be true to yourself and your integrity. All of that kind of goes together. And then focus is my last one. Focus meaning you're not always going to be focused, but when you are, dive in hard and give it 110%, because when you don't feel focused or you don't want to be focused, it's helping you lead the lifestyle you're looking to gain, which is that you're human and you aren't a robot. So focus has its own new meaning to me.
I love that. And, that's it. The other thing that I said in that video earlier, where it was about how to avoid giving up on your business, focus on the next step, because it's important to begin with the end in mind. It's important to clarify your vision and have that outcome. But if you only focus on that, that can feel super overwhelming. The gap between where we are and where we want to be can be so big that we quit, right? And when you can chunk that down, which a lot of my coaching is intended to do, to say, okay, Rachel, I know you want to do all of this, and let's just focus on this project for the next 30 days and just putting that one step in front of the other over and over again is what gets you to the finish line.
And it's so rewarding. Like I'm experiencing that now. I'm very young in all of this, and those little mastering a little step at a time is monumental in a lot of ways that I didn't realize that it would be. So I'm really grateful to learn that. And the whole focus thing kind of goes with mindset in a way, but the difference is really that with focus, it's okay to give it 115% here and put on the gas, and then spend 4 days being mindless with James Bond movies.
Totally, yeah. I
Whatever.
completely agree for sure. Well, I want to stop teasing the person watching this because I'm sure they're curious about what the results are that you got. So, since joining the Six Figure Coach Launchpad program, what are some results? Specifically, I guess, how many clients did you enroll? What did you charge? I would love to hear some of that.
Yeah, so I love sharing this. I admit that I'm doing this a little bit differently than I think your intended program is, and that's because, and for everyone watching, I still work in corporate. I've changed my approach to my job. I'm not going to hopefully be here longer than first quarter, but I'm using it. I'm taking advantage of the opportunities available to me, and so I have to balance that with my personal life. And so what I've done is really absorbed the tools and resources and done the steps along the ways I've been able to. But when something like building my intellectual property takes significantly longer amount of time, I'm like, I'm okay with that. I can't fulfill it in a short amount of time. It's going to take longer. So I have brought on 4 clients since the inception of the program. It was early on, and I was very excited. It's gone very well. In fact, one of them is already talking with me about next year in a 6-month program and then bringing employees on. So it certainly can lend to other things, and it's very exciting. So it's certainly been rewarding. Financially, I've gotten my ROI if you want to look at it like that. But for me, again, Peter, all of this was more so about what's up here and getting that in order and building the foundation. So understanding how to build a funnel digitally, how to use the tools, when to use the tools, which ones are important up front and which ones don't matter at this point. When the button goes up here versus down here. I mean, all of those variables, plus just the idea of linking automatic, payment apps and which ones are the best and why, and all of these things I would have taken forever to learn. So the success is not just the results of having happy customers, which the 4 clients I did bring on, it all has gone beautifully, really well. I have nothing but wonderful things to say, both for their results, because my results are theirs, right? And they're seeing impact. So I would almost want to bring them on to go, you tell him what the result, that's how I feel. It's not about me, it's about my customers.
I love
But
that. I totally agree. So, but 4 clients, and I think that was done, if I remember correctly, like within the first 4 to 5 weeks or 4 to 6
it was very early on because I was so instrumental in following the protocol, and I went through to do some interviews and sort of just end up signing clients very quickly. And then I had to stop because I really didn't have the time to be
You had to
in
stop.
your pro.
Yeah, you literally had to stop getting clients because you're at capacity that quickly. So
Yeah.
just so the person watching this knows, and I know I agree, it's not all about money. However, it's important to be able to measure that, right? Because it does
Oh, heck
translate into
yes.
some of the value that you provide. How much were you charging approximately for these clients?
So I charge $3,000 per client, and what's involved in that is 3 one-on-one coaching calls, um, 3 one-on-one coaching calls per month, and one pretty intensive kind of video call. And the video call is more like an interactive workshop where we have whiteboards, we're in an office type space, whether it's drawing out workflows or budgeting, whatever is needed by that client is involved. And that's a 12-week program for 3,000. And I was comfortable taking 3 clients per month, and I squeezed in a fourth. And it was difficult. Now, once I'm no longer in the corporate space, I'll be able to add on a few more.
For sure.
But I am in the process of building a group coaching program per your course, and making that a really applicable series. And that will be a little bit less because of how it's set up. It's going to be a 4-week kind of a mini series web class with very specific agenda, and it will be $2,000.
Love it. And the beauty of that is that you're leveraging your time, right? You're being able to work with more than just a handful of one-on-one clients. You can get a lot of clients into that. And you know the value of association. You know, for someone who's just working with you one-on-one, they get access to you, but they're not associating with other business owners with similar challenges or similar goals. So there's a
Correct.
there. So just so I know the viewer heard that, that's 4 clients at $3,000 within the first kind of 4 to 5 weeks.
So 12,000, right?
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And then for this group coaching program, it'll be 4 sessions with a one-on-one, really team call, or it may be an individual entrepreneur on the front end, and then one on the back end.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, good.
So that will be also included in that, and that's
great. And for you watching this, you know, the important, why we're discussing this and why Rachel is sharing this is because it's super important for you to get clear on what your coaching model is. You know, not only knowing who you help and how you help people, but really uncovering your proven process, really clarifying your pricing of, okay, what is it that you charge and what do your clients get out of that? So when you have that clarity, Rachel, you show up way more confident, way more certain in what you're delivering. So thank you for sharing that.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm also advocating the network that you build of others doing similar work, that you can build out your network. I'm utilizing that or leveraging that in my messaging.
Awesome. I love it. So final couple questions. Who would you recommend the 6-Figure Coach Launchpad to?
Well, any individual who is driven and passionate about what they do for a living, no matter really what it is, and yet feeling a sense of being unfulfilled or not reaching your potential, or just something's missing, whatever that thing is, it is worth the experience of going through your program to find yourself and build, whether it be your sole business or a side business, or just learn how to earn more income for yourself if and when you're ready. I mean, there's so many elements of this that go beyond your core message that one can gain. I mean, it's so significant. I really recommend it for any like-minded, driven person, period. If you're not I want to go to work, I want to punch a clock, I want to come home, I'm not striving to be a so-and-so. That's not who this is for. It's for someone who says, I need to make a difference, whether it's in another person's life or in their community or whatever that thing is that they're driven by. You're the right person to go.
I love that, Rachel. Thank you. Yeah, I say that.
Including sharks.
Yeah, totally, exactly. That's another side of my business, is taking people great white shark diving. So if you have a message inside of you, right, that's a big takeaway. If you have a message inside of you, if you feel called to impact people's lives, then it sounds like, based on what Rachel just said, you'd be a good fit for the program. So for you watching this, if you want to explore if you're a fit, because even though I agree, Rachel, everyone will benefit, not everyone is a fit. There are certain things like, ability to be coachable, be open-minded, ability to implement what they learn. All those things are super important. So if you're watching this, you want to explore if you're a fit and have a conversation with me, then what I want you to do right now is just go to earn100kcoaching.com. The website is www.earn100kcoaching.com, and fill out an application and schedule a complimentary call with me. We'll hop on the phone for just about 15, 20 minutes and work out if or how I can help you. And if we feel that it's a fit, then we'll book another call in and really allow me to show you how I would help you and, what you would get from the program. So yeah, you can go ahead and do that if you want to see if you're a fit. So Rachel, thank you so much for scheduling the time to do this interview. Thank you for
Absolutely.
your commitment to be coachable and open-minded and, step outside of your comfort zone. It's not easy when you're working full time. And I know, the demands of your job you shared with me have gotten more and more significant. And so there's all these reasons slash excuses for you to not have done what you've done. And yet you still stepped out, you still made those interview calls, you still enrolled 4 clients at 3,000 a piece. I mean, that's amazing. And now you're looking at building this group more leverage program for you to really
Yeah.
make this full commitment Q1 of next year.
Yep,
Which
Q1. So, yeah.
so
Well, thank you so much. It's been an amazing experience.
awesome. All right, Rachel, thank you so much, and I'll
Thank
talk
you.